Welcome to Popcorned Planet. I am Andy Signore, and Donda 2, the listening party event, happened with Kanye featuring Marilyn, Manson, DaBaby, Kim Kardashian, Kamala Harris. Look, it was a weird mixed bag of things, but hey, it was a very mixed review as well, as Kanye called out everybody in a shambolic Donda 2 event. Fans were horrified by the sound quality. It was very clear Kanye's frustrations during the event, which, first off, we got to mention this. There's so much we're going to cover in this update, so bear with me, and thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to get to the fact that Pete Davidson did, in fact, I think, shade Kanye. We're going to show you how he did it. It was right before this, but it's all compiling in a way that I think this Donda event and everything that's been happening, to me, is proving this was all more of a publicity stunt than I think we were admitting. We were talking about it earlier in the stream, as we do sometimes during our live feed. Look, I'm aware Kanye is on, meds. I'm aware he has, his own mental struggles. A lot of people do. He has manic episodes. It's a real thing. And there were points throughout this process when we were going through the messages and things he was sharing that I felt genuinely scared. Like, this isn't something to laugh at, right? This is something serious. This is a breakdown we're watching in real life. However, the timing of it all and learning about what he actually was doing here, it starts to really beg the question of, like, what is actually happening here? Because, guys, before we get to all the Donda concert and Pete Davidson, you got to go back and you got to realize he is charging people $200 for this new album. How dare he, can you say? Well, he's doing it through his new STEM player. He's created a new tech device. It's a wireless speaker that you carry around. Here it is. Like, it's done artistically. STEM player, not on Apple. Donda will only be available on my own platform, the STEM player. Artists just get 12% of the money the industry makes. It's time to free music from the oppressive system. It's time to take control and build our own. Go to stemplayer.com for more to order. Now you got to order the special player, and it's $200. It'll come with the album. Now, he says he sold 10,000 players in 3 days. I don't doubt it, as he claims he rejected a $100 million deal from Apple. Now, he actually showed finances, which I assume are real, where he sold this amount and basically showed that he generated $2 million in sales from his STEM player since Thursday. Now, I don't know how much he's made since that date, if it really continued in high demand throughout the whole period. Let's say he made $10 million, right? That doesn't cover any of the costs. That doesn't cover the costs of making said STEM player. It doesn't cost the cost of making the album. And it sure as hell doesn't cover the cost of putting on this event and live streaming it, which, guys, would have cost a very pretty penny. So losing the $100 million from Apple and then potentially whatever else sales that things he gets, I don't know. Like, and what's also so frustrating about all of this as you go through it, this was only supposed to be on, here it is. This was only supposed to be available on STEM Player, in concert, and then live streaming in IMAX theaters. That's what this event was. He was selling tickets in selective theaters. You could see it only in IMAX. You could only buy the player through his thing here. But then he totally put it on YouTube. Streamed it live on YouTube for everyone to see. And it had 3 million views. 3 million views. Now, I have this archived just because I was watching it before he pulled it. And he did now privatize it. It looks like on his channel he did privatize it. So I still have it until it turns off. And I'm in a little bit of a YouTube limbo zone right now because you can see the gray bar. It's like loaded halfway. And I'm at the Marilyn Manson portion, so I want to save it there. But the reality is, he streamed this to 3 million people. Anybody who was online could watch it for free on YouTube, which he swore he wouldn't. So he charges all these people, does all this stuff. He's doing it all for the publicity. And you got to keep that in mind as we talk about this story, because it's hard to not understand or think, like, what is this really all about? He goes and resets his Instagram constantly, and now everything else that he's done, all the drama, it's all gone. He caused all that drama, and now he's promoting a bunch of weird, what the hell is this? Poncho, Apocalypto stuff. I don't get it. These are all the wardrobes from the event and stuff. And then he keeps playing sort of like this beat Donda STEM player thing. And it's all just advertisements for buying STEM player. Guys, you don't just build a platform and a device Yeezy tech like this over the course of a week. No, you need a marketing plan, and you need to have some big events to happen to get people to buy them. And I firmly believe that's what all of this was about. I really think all of this was a way, well, how can I keep instigating all this to get trending, to get people talking about me because I'm yay. And so when I look at all of this, it makes me question everything. So I wanted to give you that first before we get into the story, because I think it is relevant. Because Jade, thank you for the comment. I agree with you. It's not funny, but I do think there's more to it. All right. So now going back to the event before we get to the shade. So Kanye trolls Pete Davidson throughout the show. He starts the show with Kim. Sorry, I have a lot of links here, so I apologize. Actually, before I get to the show, let's also mention 2 new legal updates. Your Honor, I object to Kim's divorce plans. He does not want her to change her name back to Kardashian. He's stalling it. All these tactics, these are not okay. This stuff's, and I don't want to share this as a joke, but there's a lot of these memes going by. But the reality is, like, yeah, do I think he's going through some serious stuff? Absolutely. Do I want to laugh at the fact that he's doing that? No, not at all. At the same time, it's hard to not make these comparisons. This dude's, purposefully or not, is a stalker. Like, it's weird. It's not healthy in the slightest. And the reason he's doing this, or he's allegedly why he's doing this, is because, you know, he wants to Kanye's lawyer appears to object due to the fact that Kim might remarry and move some of their joint assets into their separate accounts. So therefore, he doesn't want to do that until there's more business things to take care of, properties, etc. But Kim filed for this in February 2021. She's made it very clear she wants a divorce. She's already made herself single, which is what they're sort of trying to do. And he's just delaying it at every step of the way. This is important also in sort of the plan of, excuse me, you know, does he have an issue? Probably. I think absolutely. But is this healthy? No, it's not healthy. All right, so now going back into the Donda listening event. Sound quality was awful. Sloan talked about it in his show too. I've seen other people talking about it. Everybody was there live and even watching on the replay. Everything was out of sync. Everything was off. It was just a complete mess. And in fact, I have right here, I'm going to play a quick clip. I might have to start and stop it, but here's where Marilyn Manson does show up. It does seem like whoever was mixing this event, well, they were either Pete Davidson, which kudos to this meme. They were either Pete Davidson or they just weren't a fan of DaBaby or Marilyn Manson, because they each have their own issues. But here's Marilyn Manson showing up to sing Jail with Kanye. So you can see here as Marilyn Manson is there to do the part of what I guess is it Jay-Z in the original? Because he's not on the song, I remember. I actually don't hate this song, but it takes a whole new level when you put Marilyn Manson in there. And I don't even really want to get bogged down in the whole Marilyn Manson debate, because I know we had Colonel Kurtz on. She defended him. She laid out a lot of evidence that says it's a lot more complicated than people want to say. So I'm sort of just, since I'm not as invested and haven't done as much homework, I just don't want to. I don't like accusing anybody of anything until it's, you know, they go through their legal proceedings. You know what I'm saying? But I know some people aren't fans of him. Okay. Some people believe Evan Rachel Wood. Okay. Some stuff has annoyed me with her, so I'm on the fence on things. But I understand that that's a complicated one. Kanye doesn't think it's complicated. He brought him out for the song "Guess Who's Going to Jail Tonight." And so Kanye's singing there. And then Marilyn's part comes in way too early, which then Marilyn catches and tries to sing it all cool, like it's not a mistake. Just proving that it's all fake. It's all lip synced. It's not real. And if you notice there, as Kanye's struggling, completely chucks the mic into the water. You can hear it just splash hit the ground. This was just sort of the ultimate summary of what was going on with this event, because It was just a disaster, technically. From an audio standpoint, from a mixing standpoint, it was a disaster. He's gonna fire a lot of people. He's gonna fire a lot of people. In fact, there's a lot of people who's going to jail tonight. Mic operator. I'm praying for all these mofos, like all the technical production people. There was a lot of people calling this out, and it was a big deal during the show and everything else. That auto engineers after Donda listening party, they're going to be working at McDonald's. Hey, no shame to people working at McDonald's. POV of the sound engineers during the jail song. I'm asleep. There was a lot of apparently terrible mixing, terrible problems, and that did not help matters at all. Add to that frustration, Marilyn Manson did show up, and a lot of people, a lot of outlets. Sorry, as I gather this stuff, man, a lot of just outlets just they lean into him hard. Do I have it here? They all call him R.A.P. I don't want to say the word, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I get it. I understand the accusations. But what's really scary about that is someone could say that about me, even though I disputed it and proved it. It's just, I'm trying to find, yeah, there it is. I mean, that's where we are as this culture. That's now how we just define people when it comes out. Look, let him defend himself. Aren't they in court? Aren't they going to court? Are they not? I don't know the whole situation there, but you don't have to like the guy. You can tune out during this song. You can turn it off. I get it, but it just a lot of headlines. Just that's now forever how he's defined, and it's this public shaming forever. It's just I don't know. It's a complicated one on this one. A lot of people think he's innocent, so that's why it's even more complicated in this incident. And people believe him. So what are we supposed to do? And so everyone's just like, nope, he's not. We must listen to this person who there's doubts about. Nope. It's like Michael Jackson. We're gonna forever just condemn Michael Jackson? Well, no. We've done every instance requires people to make their own decision. And so yes, technically this isn't a lie. Accused. They say accused. But I mean, my God, it's intense. So that added to the pressure. Kanye knew he was doing that, and he did it on this song. So that added to the weirdness of it all. Of just a lot of people that threw a lot of people off, given the controversy. And this isn't the first time he's done that. It's not the first time he's had Marilyn there. Sorry, I'm gathering the next link because there's a lot of links here. I want to make sure I'm going through. Let me close some of these so I don't keep getting lost. What was really odd was this. There we go. I wanted to go here. He starts the show sampling Kim Kardashian's SNL monologue. Now, I have it here again. I got to sort of start and stop it for legal commentary purposes. But here we go. This is how it started.
I married the best rapper of all time.
Now, this is the Saturday Night Live monologue she did. I'm married to the best rapper of all time. As the applause goes in.
He's the richest black man in America.
He's the richest black man in America.
Talented, legit genius who gave me 4 incredible kids.
the legit genius that gave me all these talented kids. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is like the joke was that like Kanye wrote it. Like there was a joke at the end of that monologue. I couldn't find it exactly, but at the end of that monologue, in fact, I sorry I didn't have that ready. I tried to find it. I feel like it was a joke of like, yeah, he wrote that. And so but of course he grabs just that part. A mod squad or a headline group. I'm gonna send it to both you guys. Can either of you watch that for me quick? Am I crazy? I'll come back and check. Can you find that portion of the monologue and let me know if I'm crazy? Wasn't it a joke at Kanye's expense after she said all that? So anyway, I think that's what it is. But he took that that piece to start his whole show, which is just weird. And it threw a lot of people off. And he took it out of context and was used as an intro that Rest new track Sci-Fi, which is part of his new album for the stem player. 8 months after, during the episode, she also locked lip with Davidson, who they started dating soon after. West apparently had helped Kardashian prepare for her appearance, and she was even making eyes at him as she took the stage. But anyway, so that was that. That's, of course, he's just not over it. He's constantly using her and using her quotes and things to keep it relevant and use Kardashian status to stay relevant. And this is where I say it's like, it all feels like it is performative. It's all to stay relevant and be edgy and be out there. And I don't know, it's starting to rub me the wrong way. It's like, I understand singing songs about your relationships and saying what you need to say, but some of the stuff in this that he was rapping about her and playing these things, it just doesn't feel good anymore. It just doesn't feel good anymore. There was also a I'm trying to find sorry, I lost one thing. Before I get to the Pete Davidson thing, he throws here it is. He does do some new he said some mean things about Pete during the show. Here it is. Yesterday, Kanye legally changed with Ye. Despite several technical issues in throwing his microphone, Ye still managed to include Kim and Pete in the show. And we aren't talking about physically using them in his show. In fact, Kim was not in attendance, which is pretty telling given that she was at all 3 Donda listening parties previously. She even performed in one of the shows in her wedding dress. But she did open with that audience, that audio. Oh, yeah, Kim goes on to say, so when I divorced him, you have to know it just came down to one thing, his personality. All right, moving along. Yeah, I knew it was a knock at Kanye at the end of that. Anyway, while performing Security, which was seemed to be aimed at Davidson, Ye raps, pop some, I ain't getting frisked. I put your security at risk. Pop some, I ain't getting frisked. I put your security at risk. Lyrics continues, okay, we gonna make this an event. Y'all gonna need security for this. Security gonna need security for this. Never take the family picture off the fridge. Never stand between a man and his kids. Y'all ain't got enough security for this. I put your security at risk. I make your security all quit. Like, we ain't getting paid enough for this. It's a pretty good rhyme and stuff, but it does sound maniacal. But not good when we know what they'd already been talking about. Again, it's like all the same stuff that he's reiterating again and now putting into his music, that he's now selling for more music, that we all have already gone through. And this is all, again, with that chat we saw where he's like, you're never going to see my kids. It's hard to not see that this isn't a shot. This song, Security, isn't a shot at Pete. What do you guys think? Tell me in the chat as we're going there. It just feels like, it's getting scary, but I also feel like he's all doing it on purpose to keep the thing going. Do you know what I mean? So you get all that. I want to make sure I've gone through all sort of the most important parts of the piece as we went through the Kanye disaster that was. Lots of other little things. There was a nice thing with Alicia Keys, etc. DaBaby did show up along with both that whole song with Marilyn Manson, which is here. The whole thing, which I don't even know if it'll play now. Still will. This whole thing was just a disaster. And then DaBaby shows up. And then DaBaby's whole rap, just as you can hear there, DaBaby's whole rap is just being played while they're walking around because the audio's all off. DaBaby and Marilyn's sections weren't going to be mic'd. They were just overlays that got synced improperly. And Kanye is just livid throughout it and throughout the rest of the show. It's just a mess. And the idea that he did, guess who's going to jail with these two very infamous figures right now, was clearly his attempt again to go after controversy and just rally attention. All these events he does, the MAGA hat, everything, it just all feels like he knows, hey, I'm going to rally up attention and that's what I'm going to do. And I'll say it, it's kind of what Trump does. Like Trump does, I don't want to get political, but Trump was, I was a fan of Trump during the Celebrity Apprentice years. And I knew and watched, and I knew he was just a showman, and I sort of appreciated the reality crap. I'm a reality junkie, and the crap he would do there. And a lot of his political stuff doesn't align with what he's doing now. I do believe he changed a lot of who he was to appeal to people and to just get a rag at people. And so I feel like Kanye is doing a lot of the same moves or the same playbook, and it would make sense why he would look up and appreciate what Trump does, because I think he is just tricking people. That's what I think. It's my opinion, my conspiracy, my whatever. There you go, Steph. I said it. But that's what I think's going on here. And so the more and more I see all this, the more I'm like, I don't feel bad for him anymore. And that brings me now to this, which is where it seems Pete Davidson has thrown some shade. He's back on Instagram, and he's made his first post, which I'm not even going to play because it's completely irrelevant. Oh, did he just delete it? Did he just delete it? Oh, no. Wait a second. Did it just delete while I was live? I shouldn't have refreshed. I guess he doesn't want to even be caught. It's done. He's already off. Pete Davidson's off Instagram again. Jesus Christ. Well, luckily I have it. I caught what he saved there. But that's frustrating because it was there and I just lost it. You saw it for a brief second. He had one post and now it's already gone. We're live TV, folks. But what he had there was in his bio. Hold on. Sorry. Let me show you here. I had it. I have a backup. Apologies. Here it is. Pete Davidson seemingly throws shade at Kanye West. I don't know if we got it was deleted. Yeah, they're saying it happened. So Pete's already off of it. Literally, it lasted like 2 days because of Kanye, and because I think what I'm about to show you was Pete shading Kanye. So there it is. He's already off. Do I have a screen cap here? What he did was, sorry, on the Twitter bio. Where's the link? It was this. Bear with me. Sorry, because now guys, bear with me. He threw me for a loop because he deleted. He must have been watching. This isn't the first time it's happened to me. Jeez, hold on. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. I can't find the. Oh, here it is. This is what he linked to. Yep, this was it. And this has all the Pete things. So so his bio to his Instagram page, which is now deleted. Breaking news. Had his bio link sending to this. And you guys tell me who he's talking about.
But look, I figure it this way. Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime.
Better to be king for a night than schmuck for a lifetime. Who is he? Who could that be referring to? Better to be king for a night. Better to be the trend right now and sleep around with the best, most amazing women and be relevant for a little blip than be a schmuck for a lifetime. Pretty classy shade, if you ask me, and pretty fair, I think, to what he's throwing back at Kanye. Look, Kanye's being a schmuck, in my point of view. I think Pete is saying it too. And as we wrap up this segment, it's pretty telling. Now, the fact that Pete had to delete this goes either one way, because even now people in the chat, Mod, Will, and everybody are like, is he really that afraid of Kanye? You could go that way, and in which case maybe that does change the thing here. But the fact that he deleted it tells me it's one of two things. He is legitimately afraid and doesn't want to keep instigating because he knows Kanye is going to jump on anything, like any hater does. Anybody who was attention seeker, any grifter, they will just salivate and jump and claw and grab any reaction you give them. I've learned this the hard way. Any of my haters, if I reply or do anything, it gives them more content to go after you. And so Kanye in the mode he's in, Pete doing that, even if it's subtly. I mean, you saw what he did to Billie Eilish for Travis Scott. Now he's like, oh, Pete, what? You call me a schmuck, Pete? That's what's gonna happen. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. So they're either afraid, and I'm gonna ask you in the poll. They're either afraid, or he just doesn't want to get involved. He realizes, I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. It's one of those two options to me. But there you go. Pete did throw shade. It did happen, even though, sorry I didn't have it exactly here. I saw it with my own eyes. Thanks for Us Magazine confirming it was there. But now, breaking news, Pete is now, again, off Instagram. And honestly, maybe he should be. Because Pete has his own mental struggles, and Kanye is just poking him too much. It's not funny. And that's what's problematic. We're talking about, oh, we got to protect Kanye. Kanye's going through all this stuff. No, at a certain point, someone's got to tell Kanye to stop. It's not funny, Kanye. And I feel like Kanye is doing it to exploit this album, this player, this event, to monetize it. He's monetizing the manic disorder, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm getting over it. So I'm getting frustrated with Kanye. I'm not here to laugh at him, but I am going to reprimand and say, like, this isn't okay. Just so you can sell some stupid player that, honestly, I don't even think it's doing that well. It's going to have a blip right now, and then it's over. And he's probably going to rip all of those people off just like he's done in previous ventures, where he's just going to put it on all streaming services later. Because that's what he does. He does a little trick, it fails, and then he just cheats everybody and puts it elsewhere. It's sad. I was a fan of this guy and his music, but I'm more and more becoming scared and not as Team Ye as I used to be. I hear there's a new documentary that's coming out. That's out now, part 1, or there's a couple parts of Netflix. I do want to watch it. It goes back to sort of classic Ye and his rise, and it's apparently very inspiring and very well done. I hope, and I suspect he'll come out of this, but I think this behavior isn't helping him at all. And there's going to be people who disagree with me. That's your choice. That's your right. I think what's going on here is just getting too out of hand. And I'm not here to laugh at it, but I am going to call it out. And I think what he's doing here is purposeful. I think there's a purpose behind it, but I'm curious what you guys think. We're going to put a poll out. Team Pete, I see. We're going to do one more poll. I'm going to put that in the live show. I'm going to trim this one though right now. So we can move on to some other topics. If you missed the full live show, you know how you can catch it? Become a member. Hit that join button. Become a member at any level. And then go to the Popcorn Planet channel page on YouTube. Scroll down, and you'll find the members-only playlist that has all the replays. You can watch all the uncensored, long, extended versions of these streams. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We are not done. Steph is in the waiting room. We're going to take some polls, and we're going to talk about some more news and get your thoughts on this topic. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.